So now the overall total response this is ZSR, this is ZIR. Total response must be equal to ZSR plus XK ZIR. Which comes out to be this plus this, whatever is that. Which, if you want to simplify this, you can also write this as equal to phi k0. And what did we get here for this ESR? Look back to your notes. State space representation we wrote this in last class. Exactly same result, except the fact that the B fellow here is a constant value, whereas the B that is occurring into here is a time varying B. But form is exactly the same. And of course, phi k0 is not same as that same phi k0 there. And but for this notationally they are exactly the same by plugging in the right values corresponding to time varying systems and time invariant systems. Format is the same. So in terms of the computer calculations of this or any method of doing it, MATLAB or something, the basic idea is that the equation is the same. Only thing is you will have to plug in whenever you are calculating, in this case a constant value, you can get away with it by pulling this out or something, whereas here you have to, every instant you do the next step, you will have to put the right value. That's the only difference that will make. Computationally the structure is the same. Okay. If you look at either this equation or that equation, which is same, you see that the xk is obtained by taking the initial matrix, initial value matrix x0 and multiplying by phi k0, which is itself a matrix, in this case a to the power of k. A to the power of k is the A matrix multiplied k times, which will be again a n by n matrix, and that n by n matrix you multiply this column matrix corresponding to x of 0 of all the state components and give you the ZIR, 0 input response. Okay. As far as this is concerned, what does this represent, this form tell you? This form is looking like a convolution, right? This part is the input and this part is it something to do with the system function. So the system function is now convolved with the input, and this is basically your convolution integral. It has to be. So this is your convolution, or equivalently there, this is the convolution. Which means this is nothing but your impulse response, or in this case what you call unit pulse response, and you convolve with these two, so you get exactly same result. Okay. Now let me take up this equation and then do some tricks on that. So I have given you a method of solving this state equation, which is the first one, by using solution in the sample domain itself. Now the question comes to your mind is, can I go to some other domain more conveniently and then try to find a solution to this? Now you can see, I erased it, but sigma phi k L plus 1, k is equal, L is equal to 0 to k minus 1 into B L into UL is the GSR portion, zero state response portion. UL is a function of the sampling instant L, which is understandable after all input is varying with respect to time, so it has to vary. Here, as you can see, this is a time varying function and this is also a time varying function. Now, if you want to apply the so-called transforms on it, Z transform, now you are in trouble. What is the trouble? See, when you had convolution like here, where the input is some value, a function of the L, and the remaining one is only constant but just shifted version of that, then you can do convolution. But in our case, this is also a function of L. That means my impulse response is not a constant value, it varies with respect to the time instant where I have measured that impulse response. Are you with me or not? Because there is L coming here also. So the whole thing is a function of L here. Whereas in the time invariant case, this is a to the power of k, right? And substituting that becomes a convolution integral, convolution summation. So there is no issue as far as the time invariant case is concerned. But when it is time varying case, both these functions are functions of time instant. As a result of that, when you want to do convolution of this with respect to this, I must find transform of this product. And in Z transform of a product of two functions is equal to convolution again. So what is the great advantage you are getting? You are not able to do anything here because you need to find a convolution with respect to that. With respect to that convolution, you must again convolve with respect to this. This doesn't simplify your life. You are able to simplify in the invariant domain only because of the advantage that this is a constant value, so you can do this convolution quite easily. That means effectively what I am saying is, by transforming this equation time domain, I am not able to convert this equation into a algebraic equation, where I can find y z is equal to ratio of two polynomials. I can't do that.